Hi, welcome to Renata Leuffen Corporation. I am Renata Leuffen, and today we want to talk about the meaning of death. We are on a cemetery, and it's obviously full of dead people, and we are confronted with the utmost reality of our lives. We all gonna die. We all gonna leave our bodies. We all gonna leave this planet. So what does it mean to die? I meet many people on the cemetery every time I'm here. My son is buried here. My son Danny died at the age of 27 in 2011. And it's not easy having someone, a loved one, on the cemetery. It is painful. It is painful every day, all the time. And there's grief whenever we visit the grave of a loved one, because we love them and we miss them. Is death something to be feared? Death is a major step on our journey through eternity. I believe we were never created to die. We were also never created to suffer. We were never created to be in pain. And we were never created to waste our lives in 9-to-5 jobs just working for money. The problem that we're facing today is that we don't really yet understand the meaning of life. Who of us can say, oh, I am really alive, I am completely alive, and I'm living the life of my dreams, I have everything that I want? This happens very rarely. Most of us feel we're on our way, we still need this, we still need that, we still want to accomplish this, this hasn't turned out like we wanted it to be, and so we're constantly on our way to getting to a destination which we've set ourselves, believing that once we achieve this or once we have this, then we're going to be happy. There's a woman here whose mother is buried on this cemetery, and one day she told me, and she's always very much in pain about the death of her mother, death is final. This is true unless someone really understands the meaning of life and death, like Jesus, the Savior, whose story we read in the Bible, who was able to raise the dead. For us, usually we say death is final. But let's keep this in mind. The dead can be resurrected, and death is not really final. Death, when someone dies, is final for us because we are helpless and we don't yet understand the true meaning of death, and that death is nothing to be feared, that death is just another stop on our journey through eternity. What happens when someone dies? Well, we consist of our bodies and we consist of our spirits, and our spirits are eternal. Our bodies in our current state are perishable, so they have an end and they have a beginning. When someone dies, the spirit leaves the body. The breath of life which started the body's existence on this planet returns, and the body is just lifeless. The body is then obviously buried, and the spirit is no longer on this planet. So where do our spirits go? This is the big mystery. Some say all spirits go to the same place. Some say the spirits of good people go to heaven, the spirits of bad people go to hell. Some say we just go somewhere like in space and then we float around. I believe that when we die and when we have a real connection with God, that what happens then is that we go to another planet, which is to the north of our galaxy. There is a big concentration of light, and that we just relocate from this planet where everything has a limit, where everything has an end, where there is death, to the other planet, which we call heaven, where there is no death and no sorrow and nothing that is evil. This is obviously very comforting. However, if we look at all religions, if we look at what philosophers like, for example, Plato said and believed, we see that this belief that the good go to a good place and the evil men, those who've done very wrong things during their lifetime here on earth, will go to a bad place where they will suffer forever and ever and ever. We have become soft today, and many of us reject the idea of eternal punishment and of eternal suffering for those who have been wicked on this planet and who have caused pain. Pain to people, pain to animals, pain to nature. We're all going to find out the truth when we die. But death is only a door through which we go to experience then the freedom of the spirit. And this is what we got to bear in mind. Our spirits are eternal. Our spirits will never die. If you look at yourself and consider and imagine that you will never die, does it change the meaning of your life? Does it make you act differently and think differently? So if we think that we are really eternal spirits who live for a time in this body and on this planet, then we have to realize that we were never created to suffer. We were never created to be just a number or to be meaningless or to have a life which is bad or to lack things or to be unhappy. Death is a wake-up call. Death is just a wake-up call. A wake-up call to the limitlessness of our true being, our spirits. Death is the door that leads us into wonders, into greatness, and into our true eternal destinies. And this means to live and live and live and live forever and ever and ever and ever. Death is nothing to be afraid of, and we should talk more about death, and we should gain more knowledge, and we should cast out all fear of our lives, because there is always a way for us. There is always hope for us, and nothing is final. Even death is not final, because we continue to live and we continue to exist. And it would be so great if we would understand how wonderful life really is, that death is just an opener to a greater and better existence. Our spirits are just stepping out of this world, and suddenly we realize we can do everything, we can be everything. There are limitless opportunities, and there is a world beyond this world which is just beautiful and full of life. Real life, life that we don't know, because we're bound up in this earth which is so full of problems and death and suffering and all these negative streams. For a good person, if we look at the history and the message of all religions and all great philosophers, for the good person, death is a good thing, and what happens after death will be good. If we bear this in mind, we don't have to fear death. And all the people whose bodies are buried here are alive. There is really no death in the sense that it would stop our lives and eliminate us. We can never be eliminated. We shall live forever.